sports betting brethren. Hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd, and I'm a data analyst with OddsJam. And in today's video, we're going to go through the 7 steps, the 7 tips that you can incorporate right away if you're a beginner sports bettor to go to a pro. Some of the things, the tips you always wonder, how do they do it? What are the secret sauces? How does it work? And I'm here to go through those steps with you today so you can make money betting on sports. Let's go. All right, guys, here we go. The first step is going to OddsJam. And oddsjam.com is a betting tool that helps you identify the bet, the winning bet, the side, the total, the money line, the player prop, whatever type of bet. It's going to help you identify that specific bet. But not only will it help you increase your winnings, but it's also going to help your profitability because you're going to be able to get the best price with this tool. So what I mean by that is you're going to pay less and get more every single time. Okay, guys, here we go. And the first thing I want to do is cover the markets. And markets are the teams, sports, games, everything you can bet on. And for example, in this situation, I'm going to go to the MLB just to show you conceptually what markets. And so you can pick a sport here, any of these, and open this up. Let's go open up the schedule of games and everything going on in that day's slate of games. Okay, and here we go into the MLB phase of this. You can certainly go into the NFL, NBA, all the different sports, and you're going to see this. So there's 3 different kinds of markets you're going to be looking at. You're going to have the main markets, the wagers like the money line, point spread, and total. You're going to have alternative lines, alternative games, alternative lines. I'll show you that here in a second. They're going to be adjusted totals, adjusted sides, things like that. And you have futures bets, which means you're going to be betting on players or teams for future wagers. It ties up a little bit of capital. And the last one's player props that we'll talk about. But let's just jump into a game here. Let's just pick a random game. And how about this White Sox-Orioles game? So I'll click on the game. And what I want to show you is the different markets. And what I mean by that is the main line or the money line bets, money line, in baseball, it's run line and totals. But you can see here the alternative lines and the player props are all down here. These are all different markets. Okay, so you can bet on strikeouts. You can bet on how many hits a player is going to get. You can bet on home runs. You can see here you have some odds on different players and their home runs, whether it's over under 1 home run or not. But my point is mainline games, point spreads, and totals for an NFL game or MLB game or NBA game is much different than betting on, say, Eastern Michigan and Central Washington. So you're just going to have different markets, different games, and understand that the markets move different for, say, an NFL game dramatically than they would for a small college basketball game. So just understand that if you're betting into, again, an NFL money line, an NFL point spread, an NFL total, you're going to have a different set of market analytics than you might have, certainly, than a small market, player prop, things like that. Okay, guys, moving on from markets, the next, foundational piece of information I want to share is correlations. And here's what I call correlations. If you go to the betting tools, go to the positive EVA page, which we're going to get into here in a minute, but it's going to show you, as I mentioned, help you identify the best wager, not only the best wager, but also the best price. So, for example, in this player prop, you have player strikeouts, you have Martin Perez over 4.5 Ks against the Rockies. It's about 11.86% edge perceived, because if you have the no-vig odds and the OddsJam perfect line here at plus 114.5, but you're getting it at 140, that's huge. That's a major advantage. If you're getting plus 140 versus plus 114, you can see the market width is 34, which is under 40. It's good for a player prop. Now, what I mean by correlations, though, is you scroll down, you see this total runs line here on the over 9.5 plus 152. Well, it's also correlating with the total over 8. So what I'm saying is you see the same team, the same games, and you can learn that if it's a correlation or a trend, right? So what I mean by this is total runs game. If you're showing you a good opportunity for an over 9.5, well, wouldn't it make even more sense at minus 120? Okay, so this is a wager we'd want to look at. And again, you're paying minus 120 versus minus 135, where the true odds feel at a 16-cent market width. Again, this would be a wager that we'd want to take advantage of. So it's giving you the game, showing you what to do, showing you how to wager it. And let's say you go in there and put $100 on it, and you can save it and put in your bet tracker. So that's how you would use the tool for correlations. okay, because it's all kind of trending and going in that direction. You sort of pick the alternative line price is why I feel it's a very important concept to understand and to know. And using OddsJam is going to get you there, guys. And again, we're going to go on to the fourth tip, or the fourth step you can use with OddsJam, and that is the positive EV page. And I wanted to cover correlations in markets, because when you come to the positive EV page, I want you to understand that certainly monitoring this page for alternative lines for player props is going to be much different than a mainline bet, as I mentioned, in the markets, whether it's a college or an NFL type of wager. So very important. Moving along to positive EV, we're going to go through that next. And again, I'm going to have in-depth videos going through each one of these in specifics as well. So look for those videos too to come out. Okay, so here's where the gold is, the positive EV page under betting tools for OddsJam. And here's how you read this. Basically, in this particular scenario, it's showing you the price at minus 188 and plus 188. You can see here the OddsJam perfect lines at a plus 170. So if you can get this wager at plus 188, you have some value there. You have about 19 cents in value. And it's showing that this Texas Rangers game at minus 2.5 could be a positive expected value play by about 6.36%. So certainly the higher this number is, that's very good, but you have to keep in mind what type of a market it is, whether it's an alternative total, a player prop, things like that. So again, using this tool in correlations and also understand the markets is going to help you place a wager in, and again, show you where to place the wager. In this case, you'd have the Paul Quantrill over 5.5. You get that at plus 105. Basically, what you're doing is you're paying $10.50 for this person over here is paying a much different price, and you can see different values of how this works in a positive EV. So my analogy is, if there was two cars, both the same exact car, and I paid $1,000 less, obviously I got a better price of more positive expected value upon resale of that particular car. So that's kind of what this is. You're buying your games, you're buying your wagers at a particular price, and if the price goes up and up and up, you look smart because you got in low. If the price goes the other way, then that could be a negative expected value and something you don't want to do at all if you can help it, because that's typically not a good indicator that you're on the right side of a game. So that's positive EV page. This is huge, and you can see here some of the wagers we put in already. Very, very happy with how this is moving. All right, guys, next up is filters, and filters is something very fairly new here to OddsJam, but it's been huge. It's been awesome. You can see here, went to the filters page, and you can set this according to what you like to do. If you're a person that just wants to do mainline wagering, you certainly can do that. If you just want to have filters on certain market types, you can. Certain leagues, you can. Certain sports, you can. As you can see here, you can put all this together and set it up according to how you would like. You can also use the recommended filters, which OddsJam provides. That's typically a very, very good idea. You could blindly bet this recommended filters button and do just fine. You know, as I mentioned, you could use the recommended filters set up by OddsJam, and again, they're going to show you the highest percent, the date of the game, the information, the details about the game, the type of bet that's going on here, the line you should see, and also the sports book that you would see that as. So you can get all the different market width and VIG details you need about these particular wagers just by setting it to the recommended filters. But again, if you're a person that wants to come in here and change things up as far as different dates, different leagues, different sport, all the details are here for you to take advantage of. So you can mix and match and play with this all you want to set it precisely to the type of game and games you want to see. It's pretty cool. On to the next tip and thing you can use to help make money consistently with OddsJam is the Player Prop app, guys. The Player Prop app is very big because it's going to be on your phone. It's an app you can download and take advantage of. It's going to help you show a lot of player information relative to injuries and availability, things like that. So it's a tool that you can help to cross analyze the market movement and lines. So if you see a line go a particular direction and you get indicators from the Player Prop app that maybe that player is hurt or sitting out, that's good to know because it can definitely affect your outcome and how you would place that bet or not. So Player Prop app with OddsJam, brand new, go get it. It's pretty cool. The next one here that is an absolute must-have, must-use to go from beginner to pro is using the bet tracker, the bet tracker system. Now here you can see the tab that drops down the dashboard, the bets, your withdrawals, your deposits, things like that. So let's take a look at what happens here. So if you go into the bets tab, it's going to show you your wagers. And what's nice about this is you see the sports book, you see the type of wager that it is, you see if it's a pending status, you see the amount you staked, all the details about this. And it's very helpful to identify what sports book that was at. Maybe you're having a lot of good luck with the sports book. All you can see on the homepage is going to help you track and trace the profitability from each book. So maybe you're having some struggles with certain sports books, maybe some non-struggles. So it's going to help you track and trace what you want to do across the board. So this keeps track of all your wagers. So again, up here in the dashboard part, you can go in and check your profitability, your ROI. Make sure you're on the positive EV side of things. So right now you can see there's $1,000 of profit here, pending bets. We have some obviously pending. We've had an ROI about 11%, not too bad. I'd like to see our CLV be a little bit higher, but as you can tell here, just getting started in some of the sports books and some of the details. You can see here we've had a nice positive run over the last several weeks, and that's what you're here to do. You're here to make money, right? So this is a good idea to use continuously, constantly, just to track everything. It's gold. So make sure you use it, hands down. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a little bit more. I gave you the 7 steps and the 7 tips to go from being a beginner to a pro instantaneously. Certainly the first one, obviously, to get OddsJam. Use that 7-day free trial. Get signed up for as many sports books as you possibly can. Also, understanding and getting a deeper dive into the markets and understanding the markets and the betting markets relative to mainline bets, alternative lines, player props, futures, etc. Again, I'll have a separate individual video on that coming up. Check that out. Correlations was number 3. Correlations, just understanding. You can see the trends and the patterns going and coinciding with some of the information you're going to get from OddsJam relative to the market movement and the line movement. So that's very big to understand. There's some correlations involved. Obviously, you have to have the positive EV page, a positive expected value page. That is enormous. That is very, very big, but I put the other ones early because it's sort of a foundation of learning. Using the bet tracker, using the app, using the details and all the information you have to put this together to keep track of your winnings and your understanding what you're doing well is very key here. But I want to invite you to join the Discord, also the YouTube page and Twitter. The social media community with OddsJam is huge, and everyone's helping each other learn how to use this tool. And hopefully my videos will be able to help you decipher how to pick winners, how to pick profitable winners, and how to make money betting on sports. So thank you for your viewership, and make sure to check out future videos.